Canadians are rising up against their little tyrant soy boy Trudeau as mass protests flood the streets across the nation. In this video, we're going to see the amazing show of support for the Freedom Convoy truckers. We're going to see how the world really is beginning to turn on Trudeau. And stick with me to the very end of this video when I'll show you how the Canadian Patriot Uprising may indeed just be beginning. You are not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Stevie with you. Great to be with you. As always, I am your daily fake news antidote, your Patriot professor, helping you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Before we begin, gang, rhino hunting boot camp tickets, they're all sold out. I told you they'd go fast. March 5th will be an incredible deep dive into what we can do to get rid of rhinos and elect tons of patriots to office. But Rhino Hunting Month continues on. For those of you who missed the tickets for my upcoming Rhino Hunting Boot Camp, you can still support the fight through my Change America initiative. Click on that link below or go to change.turleytalks.com to help fight rhinos and support patriots running for office with a daily roundup of your purchases to the nearest dollar. And as a thank you, if you sign up with our Change America program, you're going to get free access to my weekly exclusive Monday night live streams. You're going to absolutely love it. So make sure to click on that link below right now and support patriots against rhinos all across the country. Click on that link or visit change.turleytalks.com and let's make 2022 the biggest red wave ever. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. As the Freedom Convoy crackdown nears completion in Ottawa, we're seeing signs that Canadian patriotic populism is growing stronger than ever. Over the weekend, there were a number of demonstrations all across Canada in solidarity with the truckers. In British Columbia, thousands came out in support of the truckers, denouncing Trudeau's invocation of nothing less than dictatorial powers. In Quebec City, a massive demonstration surfaced where protesters chanted "Liberté" in unison, and in Calgary, protesters flooded the streets chanting freedom and demanding an end to all, not some, not most, all COVID-related mandates, and of course an end to Trudeau's dictatorial LARPing. I think Jack Posobiec said it best when he tweeted out, quote, "The brutal crackdown in Ottawa is not having the desired chilling effect. Instead, more protests are now breaking out in Quebec and across Western Canada." And he's right. I was in Fort Lauderdale over the weekend. I was speaking at the latest stop for the American Freedom Tour, and it was just so beautiful because I brought up in my talk what was happening in Ottawa over the last several weeks, how amazing it was. Everyone just started to applaud. They were so excited. And then right in front of me, a fellow just in the first few rows, he pulled out a Canadian flag and held it up and waved it, and the whole place just lit up. He got a standing ovation. Patriots all over the world are uniting around Ottawa. It's so beautiful. And while I'm thinking about it, gang, what do you think of this shirt, huh? We can all show our solidarity with the Freedom Convoy as well by supporting this channel and clicking on that link below and going to store.turleytalks.com. That's store.turleytalks.com. Get your amazing trucker gear there. You're going to absolutely love it. So yeah, I mean, the world really is showing enormous support for the truckers, and they're starting to noticeably turn on Trudeau. In fact, you may have heard of this, but a European Parliament member from Romania is actually openly calling out Trudeau for acting like a communist dictator. Now, remember, Romania was the only nation that had their communist dictator, Nicolae Ceausescu, openly firing his people back in the 1980s, right? Ceausescu gave the order. Interestingly, this Ottawa crackdown is being called Trudeau's Ceausescu moment. In a comparable manner, Victor Davis Hanson compared it to Trudeau's Tiananmen Square incident. And the result has been not only tens of thousands of Canadians rising up all across the nation over the weekend in protest of Trudeau, but a number of fellow liberals and world leaders are pushing back against Trudeau for his dictatorial tactics. One video in particular that's going around, that's going viral, juxtaposes Trudeau's pathetic pandering to the BLM movement several months back on the one side and his brutal crackdown on the Ottawa truckers on the other. And these optics are clearly crushing any hope Trudeau had of restoring order back to his woke liberal agenda. In fact, it's having the opposite effect. Robert Reinks of the Heritage Foundation, he has a very interesting piece where he argues that Trudeau's tyranny actually exposes the futilities inherent in modern Canadian liberalism. What he argues is very interesting. He argues that woke joke Justin is actually trying to solidify what his father originally put in place back in the early 1980s with the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. So this was the moment in many respects when whatever Canada had been beforehand, which we're seeing with these truckers, a very patriotic nationalist conception of one's nationhood, that all died with the passage of the Canadian Charter. The Canadian Charter had the effect of, quote, creating a new Canadian identity rooted in a homogenous liberalism that primarily identified itself by its rejection of purported American illiberalism. Thus, to be Canadian was to support as a matter of right public health care, international peacekeeping, abortion, multiculturalism, and general abstractions such as equality and justice. Whatever Canada previously was, the elder Trudeau, Justin's father, managed to lay a liberal humanitarian foundation that positively buried former Canadian standards of citizenship. In practice, the Supreme Court of Canada functions, courtesy of the Charter, in expansive rights-defining fashion. The High Court began to bypass parliamentary sovereignty with ease and to declare new rights for Canadian citizens outside the democratic process, close quote. So basically what Trudeau's father did is he imposed a liberal totalitarianism from the top down, increasingly enforced by unelected judges on Canada's courts. And what woke joke Justin is doing here is he's attempting to enforce this liberal absolutism by declaring the truckers' protests unacceptable, illegitimate dissent. And in so doing, of course, woke joke Justin is actually demonstrating that his father's liberalism is radically illiberal. And now we're seeing, in many respects, the backlash against this radically illiberal liberalism. We're not just seeing an uprising going on all over Canada in defense of the truckers, but reports are coming out showing that there really is a resurgence of late of separatist, secessionist sentiments in both Alberta, where secessionist sentiments have long been held by Alberta patriots. They actually call it Wexit, which is in effect a call for Western Canada to secede from the other provinces. So we're seeing a resurgence of Albertan secessionist sentiments on the one hand, but we're also seeing a renewal of Quebec nationalism with the rise of the Coalition Avenir Quebec, which is the center-right, increasingly nationalist populist party of Quebec. They won a major victory back in 2018 in their provincial elections, which in effect ended 15 straight years of liberal rule over the province of Quebec. So it's no wonder that articles are coming out on how Trudeau's woke agenda, which is basically the illiberal liberalism put in place by his father back in the early 80s. It's no wonder articles are coming out recognizing that Trudeau's woke agenda is indeed tearing Canada apart. So now we're seeing Canadians rise up against Trudeau's woke tyranny. And the question now simply is, how many Canadians are ready to rise up? I mean, that's what we're going to be keeping an eye on in the days and weeks ahead. How many Canadians are going to rise up all across the provinces and demand freedom and liberté from not just these lingering, never-ending mandates, but from Trudeau's tyrannical liberalism in the process. Now, before you go, gang, make sure to check out my latest video. I just uploaded it. It's on rhinos, Republicans in name only, right? Rhinos beginning to collapse as Liz Cheney just got crushed. It's going to absolutely make your day. So make sure to click on that link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.